Welcome Taurus to your in-depth weekly forecast for week commencing the 13th of May for the Ascendant, the Sun or the Moon. On the screen now I'm showing the event chart right at the start of the week, which gives us an indication of what you can expect in the following 7 days. Now on Monday there are 3 critical events. The first is that Mercury, which has been trapped in the 12th house of your situation since the 10th of March. The 12th house is where we can retreat, but it can also be where we worry. And because Mercury can be about how we think, if you have encountered some frustrations during that period of time, particularly when it was retrograde from the 1st to the 25th of April, it wouldn't be a complete surprise. But later on Monday, Mercury emerges from its post-retrograde shadow. And something that you have felt inhibited by can just start to fade away. You'll really get the uplift on Wednesday when Mercury joins your sign. Mercury in Taurus is asking us to think and act and discuss about resources. It is met in a right angle by Pluto. And if you're wanting, for example, to gain greater recognition for your talents, it could be that one person that you would really like to be much more mindful of what you've got to offer can seem a bit closed. But also on Monday, your ruler Venus forges a very stable link to Saturn. Saturn's in the part of your situation to do with friendships, but also those future plans. Maybe there has been some disappointments over the last year, but it's also made you much more realistic. Because Venus can imbue in you a great creativity, flair, and often Taurans are brilliant makers and creators. If there is something that you're developing that you're excited about, you can really start to see this shaping up into something more tangible. But of course, Venus can also be about relationships. And those people that you can trust and rely upon are really going to be something you can appreciate as this week begins. But then, later on Monday, the Sun applies to Uranus. This is known as cazimi. So this is when the 2 planets essentially merge. And what the Sun does is amplify the energy of Uranus. Now, Uranus is a provocative planet. For 5 months in 2018 and since March 2019, it's been pushing you to change things up. Liberate yourself from things that aren't working. If you have encountered some big shifts in your world, that may have been unsettling. But what Uranus is asking you to do is reach that point when you're able to manifest yourself in as an authentic way as possible. It's not to say you weren't being genuine before, but there's part of us that does like to people please, or we're conditioned into pleasing certain expectations, or perhaps conforming. Uranus is not so much about conforming. So it's linked with the Sun at the start of this week. It's asking you to push yourself to change something that may be a comfortable routine, but could in some ways be pulverizing your passion. Now, on Wednesday, as I mentioned, Mercury moves into your sign, which is great news because some of those worries and concerns can start to fade away. But also on Wednesday, there is a quarter moon going between the Sun in your sign and the Moon in Leo. Now, the Moon in Leo is very proud, but for you, it's about your emotions. The first house is where you want to enact your individual needs, but sometimes we can be a bit more impulsive with a lot of first house energy, particularly with Uranus in the mix. So it's important whatever you do doesn't in any way threaten your emotional foundations. So don't be too hasty is the basic takeout from that influence. But then later this week we have one of astrology's most life-affirming conjunctions, as the Sun applies to Jupiter in your sign. Jupiter's been with you since the 13th of May 2023. It's given you an opportunity to be more creative, to have more self-belief and faith in what makes you individual, but the Sun adds an extra glow, an extra warmth, and there could be something that you're feeling much more confident about, especially with Mercury in your sign now, and this would be a good time to share an idea highlight your talents, or perhaps even take that step towards reaching out to someone that you're attracted to. But you're going to feel much more alluring with the combination of the Sun and Jupiter, but most of all, much more energized and self-assured. So essentially, overall, Taurus, this is a very dynamic week, but in a very positive way for you. Thank you so much for having joined me. Have a great week, and do remember to check out that special offer on my personal horoscope reports for your tropical or your draconic 30% off. Please see the link below, and if you to support the channel, please subscribe and do click or tap that bell notification symbol. Thank you.